guys, it's Avery. Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to do a little bit of story time. I asked y'all on my Snapchat for some video ideas, and one of y'all said I should do a story time. I was going to do a story time on some school stories I had, but I couldn't really think of any. So I was just kind of asking around. I was asking my brother, I was asking my parents. My parents like, hey, you could tell the story of how we met. I was like, okay, cool. They met each other in high school, and they had just had the cutest upbringing story. Okay, so let's get started. I'm not going to say anybody's names in this story because some people were kind of mean, I guess. I don't know. So I'm just going to make up fake names for people. So we just have my mom and my dad, and then I'll just make up all their friends' names. So my mom and her mom were moving to a new city. So my grandma decided it was a good idea for my mom to kind of go out and meet some new people. It was New Year's Eve, so there was this party down the street. So they invited to the party, and my mom was there, and my mom was really shy growing up. She's still pretty shy now, but she was really shy growing up. And so my mom was just kind of in the corner. She was just reading a book, which was kind of weird, but my dad saw her from across the room and just kind of like looked at her and was like, oh, she's kind of cute. I don't know. We're just gonna kind of go with it. And so there was karaoke at this party. So the karaoke guy was like, hey, we're gonna get some people to come up and do karaoke. So he was calling out random people from the audience, and he was just, so people would go up two at a time and just do some karaoke together, which was like fun and all. But then he looks at my mom and he says, hey, come up here and do some karaoke. And my mom, she liked to sing, but she was very shy. So she didn't like to sing in front of people. So she went up because like, she wanted to make a good impression on all these people around her because these were a bunch of people that she was going to be going to school with for a while. The karaoke guy turns around and looks at my dad and says, hey, you, come up here. So my dad was on the basketball team growing up. All his teammates were there because they were all invited. This was actually held at my dad's house. So they all kind of pushed him towards the stage, and so he got up. So my mom and my dad are sitting up there, and they have no idea who each other are. And so they get up, and so the karaoke guy turns on a song, and guess what it is? A love song. Yeah, it is. So my parents get up there, they're singing a song, and they're both getting really into it. They're kind of like having fun. They're just chilling. Okay, so the song's over, and so my dad's like chilling with my mom. He's like, hey, like you were really good up there, and she's like, yeah, like haha.
Like yeah, like haha.
They're exchanging their numbers, y'all. Things are getting pretty spicy. Fast forward about a week later because it was winter break because it was New Year's. It's the first day of class back, and so my dad's there, like he's been going to this school, so obviously he knows what's up. So he's in drama class because it's pretty much like it is now, like you have to take an elective, and so pretty much everybody chose drama because like it's just kind of like a free elective to some people, losers. So he's just hanging out, like they first get to class and they're just chilling, so he's on his phone. But the teacher was mean. She was the worst teacher my parents have ever had. So she's like, hey, everybody has a phone out, put it in the basket, you have detention. So she puts my dad's phone, she puts a bunch of his friends' phone, and then she turns around and says, you, put your phone in the basket. It was my mom. Yeah, so my mom was going to the same school as my dad, and they had no idea who each other were. So my dad turns around and is like, oh no, who else has their phone out? And he saw my mom, he's like, oh my gosh, this is the girl from the New Year's party. So as soon as class is over, he follows her out of the room, she's like, hey! And so they walk out of class together, and he's kind of giving her a tour of the school a little bit, and they walk past this kind of like sign area. And so she's like, what's this? And he's like, oh, it's just the musical. And she's like, oh, like, maybe we should try out together. And she's like, and they're like, oh, like, maybe we should, I don't know. And then, so they're talking about it, they aren't actually doing anything yet. And suddenly, these two kids come up. One of them we're gonna call Sarah, and she has a twin named Sam. So it's Sarah and Sam, and they're both kind of big-headed, so they're kind of like all this and stuff. So Sarah had a huge crush on my dad, and so she's kind of going up to him like, hey, Chase. And he's like, oh, hey, Sarah. And she's like, oh, are you gonna try for the musical? And he's like, oh, probably not. I mean, I have basketball and stuff. And so that's a whole thing. So she and Sam walk over to the little sign. They're like, oh, well, we're signing up and we're gonna get the lead. So they just kind of do that, walk away. And my mom's like, oh, haha, you could, yeah. Okay, so fast forward to later that day because they both had detention. So they go to detention, but it's the drama teacher, duh, because she's the one hosting detention because she's the one who gave it. So she makes all the detention kids work on the musical that's going on. So they're having to build sets, they're having to do all this. Everybody leaves without telling my mom and dad. And that is the same day as musical tryouts. A bunch of people go up and they're singing. My mom and dad are still there because they're still thinking that they have to work. And then they call up the next two people, which are my mom and my dad. So they go up on stage, they're like, we don't really know what's going on. And so they're just like, hey, let's just do it for fun. Let's just do it, like, we're not actually gonna make it or anything. So they go up there and they're trying out for the musical, and they're doing their little dance, they're singing. And then the next day, they found out that they made callbacks. Now, Sarah and Sam were not very happy about this because these two people were coming after them for the two lead roles, and that wasn't okay. My mom and my dad were chilling. They were just having fun, honestly, like living their best high school lives. Like, come on. Yes, mom and dad, y'all rock. So this is a couple days later. So my dad's kind of keeping the whole musical thing a secret. But the thing is, the callbacks list is posted everywhere. My dad hasn't told any of his basketball friends. My mom's made a couple friends by this point because she's kind of gone with the sciencey people because she was really into science and math and STEM and all of that. And she hasn't told any of them about the musical either. And both of their friends confront them. They're like, hey, are you gonna be able to do this while also doing science? Are you gonna be able to do this while also doing basketball? And my parents are like, hey, I think we're gonna be fine. The championship for basketball is coming up. So he's telling me that he's the best on the basketball team. And my mom, she had the decathlon coming up for science. Well, a bunch of their friends came together and they're like, okay, what are we gonna do? You have your person, we have our person. How are we gonna? We can't let them do this musical thing. We can't let them date. We can't, because at this point, my mom and my dad were kind of falling for each other. So they trick my dad into saying how my mom she's cool, but basketball is the number one thing to him, and how he could care less about the musical, he cared less about my mom, and that's not what's on his mind right now, that my mom's not that important, because he's just trying to say this to make his friends chill out, because he wants to be with my mom and he wants to be in this musical. But the thing is, they were filming it. So what they do is they send it to my mom's friends, and they are like, hey Christy, we have something we need to show you. They show my mom. She cannot believe that my dad would say something like this. She thought they were cool, but apparently they weren't. And so she goes up to my dad. She's like, we're not doing callbacks anymore. I'm completely done with you. I can't believe you say that about me. And my dad is like, what did I do wrong? So he's asking his friends, and they're like, hey, we made you say all that stuff. We filmed you. He's like, I can't believe y'all would do this. So, okay, as this is happening, Sarah and Sam are freaking being evil little booty holes, and they're over here drama teacher lady, can you change the day of the callbacks? And she's like, yeah, sure. So she changes it to the same day as the championship game. So at this point, my dad has to do the championship game. My mom hates him. He really wants to do the musical, and all this stuff is happening. So he goes up to my mom at her house, okay? My mom had this balcony thing, so he went up to her, he's like, Christy, I know how bad this seems, but we have to do callbacks together because I know you mean so much to me, and I don't know what I would do if I wasn't able to do this with you. So my mom was like, okay, fine, let's do callbacks. My mom and my dad rush to the championship, rush to the decathlon, do their things, and as soon as that's done, they run to callbacks so fast, and they do their song, they do their dance, all their friends are there, and everything just ends up great. They end up in the musical, everybody's happy, they win the basketball championship, they win the decathlon, everything works out. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed me telling y'all that story. I really loved opening my heart up to y'all and telling y'all the story of High School Musical. Thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow all my social medias, link in the description. Comment what other videos you think I should do. Stay cool. Bye.